Alrighty, well, last time I recorded was I think 3 or 4 months ago. I did some off-camera work this past week. As you can see, it's for the most part just like a basic primer on it. It's not completely done and sanded out. I'll do that when I'm actually doing the bodywork for the car. I decided I'm not really going to shave it too much. I just want to get this car done. And I mean, there's a limit to my patience. And last semester I thought I was going to have a lot of time and I just didn't. Engineering is not easy, so I just want to kind of speed up the process. So there's a couple things I did that's cheating. Well, first off, I didn't grind down the welds, but I think the welds are presentable enough. And then when it came to shaving the firewall, instead of actually cutting out the metal and welding it in perfectly, what I did was I traced it and I oversized it a little bit, and then I welded it in from the backside. So on the front, it looks actually pretty decent, but you can tell where they were, and I don't really care. Yeah, you can't really see. Let me get the light, like right there. So that's that. Anyways, now that engine bay is done, I gotta do the interior of the car. That means I need to grind down all the stitch points of the metals. I'm gonna be, what's it called? Stitch welding it. So all these seams, yeah, here I gotta get rid of all of the seam sealer still, which sucks. I thought I got rid of it before, but I gotta get rid of the seam sealer, and then I'm gonna be stitch welding everything. And once I'm done stitch welding the car, I'll be throwing a cage in here. It's like a half cage that came out of an Integra, I think, and it should for the most part fit, but I'm probably going to be just welding it. It's like a bolt-in, but I'm going to be welding it and then adding more bars to it. So yeah, that's going to be that for the interior.
Okay.
Alrighty.
Now driver's side?
1 second, go for it. Alrighty.
Is that it? Yep. Nope. These are still tight.
What? There's no bolts now. They're not. They don't know. They're fake.
Okay. I can come up with this thing.
So many fucking bolts. Hold on. We must rest. Yo! Look what's underneath the cabinet! What is this? Why is it a ground? Is that a ground?
I think we were trying to pull something out and we just left it.
Is that my hood release, maybe?
Maybe.
I didn't think it might be.
That was from the Sacrificial K-Series harness.
No, this was the original D-Series ground for the battery cable.
Maybe. Yeah, I remember we were looking for one.
Alright, well, carpet's out. That harness needs to go as well, but that harness is a mess. I honestly should just redo all of it. Delete what I don't need, but I gotta relocate in a nicer spot. I gotta get rid of my little push rod setup here. I don't think I've ever recorded that. Did I ever?
I don't think so.
Yeah, so in one video I was installing basically the cable to hydro conversion, my little ghetto one. And well, the stage 4 clutch that I have was bending the pedal assembly instead of pushing in the pedal. So I put a push rod in. I just welded in a push rod to push it back, push rod, push. Should be good. Anyways, there's going to be a lot of grinding I have to do with the seam sealer. I'm not happy about it, but yeah, alright. Alrighty, so we have some catching up to do. I did some off-camera work. Basically, I removed the windshield already. That was a pain in the ass. Got all the trim down, sanded it, just primed it for now. Got the quarter glasses out. And I also got all the wiring out of the car. Currently just got it sitting in the back right there, so I'm gonna take some time right now just to clean up the interior, because we're gonna be working on this in this episode. I saw on the internet a trick to getting rid of sound deadening. Now, in an earlier video I did get rid of most of the sound deadening with dry ice, but there's some spots where it's uncomfortable, so let's see if I can zoom in. So like right there, that piece of sound deadening is hard with the dry ice because the dry ice doesn't want to just sit on top, it wants to just roll off. So I saw on the internet a trick. You can try and use freeze off, so I will try that this episode. The other thing I gotta do is I gotta go around, get rid of all the seam sealer on the seams, and prepare them to get stitch welded. And then once I'm done with that, I can go throw this cage in. Now, like I said in the previous episode, this cage is for an Integra, and we're gonna try and make it fit. So I'll get back to you guys once I'm done cleaning the mess out of this car. Alrighty, so I already did the other side, and it worked. And I'll show you the result, but let's do this side. So again, I'm gonna use the freeze off, and I'm just gonna spray it on. You can see it's already cracking in some spots right there, right there, right there, right here. Gonna wait a little bit, and then I'll do another coat. Alright. Just gonna take a little hammer. Over here, there's like the seam sealer, so it doesn't really want to do that. You can see the layer, seam sealer right here. And it doesn't want to come off, so I'll just grind that off with the wire wheel. Alrighty, so as you see, it does actually work. It doesn't get the stuff with the seam sealer on it, but it gets everything else off of it. So that's pretty cool. Nice it's a nice alternative to dry ice, which is what we did for the floorboards and back here. But the issue with dry ice is you can't really get it propped up on something that's not flat. So hopefully that can over there will last me enough to get the front side over here, because I have sound deadening right there and along here. So it's mainly with the firewall. Alrighty, I did a little bit more work off camera. Kind of started getting rid of the seam sealer. I just primered the side just so it wouldn't rust overnight, but it's taking me forever. The door cards are off, the hatch is out, including the tail lights and the bash bar, as well as I got the handbrake out. So yeah, I'm just gonna continue on with the seam sealer. I'm not gonna really record it just because it's boring and it takes forever. It's taken a couple hours just for this front section, which isn't even done because I still got to do the corner on the other side. But it's going and it's looking nice, so stay tuned. As you can tell, I did a lot of work off camera. Everything should be grounded down for the most part. Lots of paint is gone, lots of all the seam sealer is gone, and sound deadening is gone. So not only that, I got rid of the fuel tank and the fuel lines. So that's the fuel tank. So next step is going to be to mark out an inch along the seam sealer, because we're going to do an inch weld, inch off, inch weld. So yeah, I'm just going to measure everything up and then get to welding. Alright, so I didn't get it on camera, but the entire chassis is stitch welded. Let's see if you can see. Got the side seals all done. The cross bracing, the front over there by the firewall up there. Back here, the entire back section is stitch welded. I didn't record it because it's a pain in the ass going back and forth. I got the cage mocked up. I'm gonna have to do a little bit of modification, but I'm gonna have to make rocker boxes. I'll record making that. I also did get the holes all welded up, cut the old metal out, the rust, and weld the new metal in. But the cage is looking pretty good. Also picked up these the other day from a junkyard. They're DA trailing arm spindles and brakes. So the Civic is finally going to be getting rear disc brakes and also larger front discs. So yeah. My dad's here. I don't know if he wants to be on camera, but he's just gonna be taking that apart. He has nothing to do. So yeah, I'm gonna get to welding up the rocker boxes. So when it comes to figuring out where to put your roll cage, there's a lot of rules and regulations, restrictions you have to follow. But for the most part, you want to get this bar. Well, this is actually a roll bar, not a roll cage. But you want this bar to be as vertical as you can, or as perpendicular to the floor. Some angle is allowed, I think up to like 15 or 20 degrees. So yeah, also gonna have to put some rocker boxes just to raise it, and also just make just more structurally sound at the bottom, and it'll also be easier to weld everything. But so that's that. So I'm gonna mark out right now basically the somewhat location of where the rocker boxes are going to go to, that the cage is going to get welded to, and then I'll just make it out of some metal, some 1/8 inch metal. It's the minimum guidelines, and it's going to have a hole on it for inspection. So I got the plates in for the like the wheel well plating for the bars, and I'm currently working on these rocker boxes. It's simple. Basically took cardboard and made a template out of it. The way it works, let me get some lighting here. You have this piece, this sits about there. Then this piece, this one goes somewhere like that. If you can, and then just a regular piece at the top. So that'll just make a nice little spot for the cage to sit and get welded to, and it'll result in a nice fit with the top of the car. So I'm gonna put you guys on a tripod and start putting that together. Alright, so the rocker boxes are in, as you can see, and parts up here, but not only that, the main hoop and the back legs are in. I didn't record it because I just wanted to get it done, but look at these clearances. You see that? See those clearances? Can't even fit a card through that, and that's all the way around, not just one side of it. Hold on, let me see if I can get zoomed in on this. And then this side, and then even the legs are pretty good as well, so happy about that. So plan, and then a bar that runs from this pole to this pole, and then also from that corner up to here, possibly a bar from here to here, and then if I have enough material, bar from that corner down to this corner. So it'll be pretty triangulated, but it will be angled for the driver. So the bar, you'd have bar here, be there as well, and then another one there. So I'm gonna get to cutting and fitting. All right, so I got this crossbar in. I guess that's what I'm gonna call it. It's pretty tight. Well, tight enough. Once it gets welded, it'll be good. Next pipe I'm working on is the one that goes from this corner all the way up there. I already got one side of it cut out. Just gotta do this one. So last night when I was doing all these notches and everything for the pipes, I freehanded all of it. I mean, I've done it a lot, so I can freehand it, but now I'm gonna have to take a pipe and I gotta put it here. Like, I can freehand it, but I do want it to be pretty tight. So I went on this website, I'll include in the description, where I can cut out these templates. So it'll be as simple as finding what orientation has to go, wrapping it around the pipe. It's kind of hard to do this one hand with the camera, and then I can trace it on there, and I should have a perfect Yeah, it should just be like, it's probably like that. Yeah, you see I kind of was starting to freehand it just in case I wanted to do it yesterday, but that'll go there, and I'll trace it, I'll cut it out, and we'll see how it fits. So I'll put you on the tripod for this one. Haven't been recording too much, but yeah. All right, so everything is cut up, fitted. You can see that's how it's gonna be. Yeah, that's how it's looking for the front. Looks pretty sweet. Happy with it. Also gonna be throwing these gussets on the side right here. So there we go, just be like that. So next step right now is I need to disassemble part of it. I'm going to take this bar out. The bottom bar will stay in for now, and the other diagonal is going to come out. That's just so I can weld that, that corner, just to make sure it stays in place. So let's see, what else do I need to do? I need to sand the paint off to make sure there's also a clean surface to weld to. So I'm currently gonna go and sand everything up, get there to be some shiny metal that will be good to weld to. All right, cage is officially welded in. I mean, there's flux on it, so it's not going to be the prettiest welds to see right now, but once I wire wheel everything, it'll all look good. Everything is fully welded all the way around, even the hard angles and stuff up here where it's hard to reach. And there's no light, but everything is fully welded, 360. So yeah, that's the cage. So next thing to do is going to be to make some dimpled eye gussets and make the chassis even more rigid. Another thing I got to do is weld it to the chassis. As you can see up here, it's practically touching almost. You can see they put like a little credit card in there, but it'll make the chassis a lot stiffer the more places that this cage is mounted in.